And the Chronicle this morning says, don't play with Ghana's security and stability. Kandapa advises journalists. Yesterday we had a meeting with him. Omahen closes down radio station. And, well, Reverend Owusu Bempah's aide arrested, Bempah's gun seized. And, okay, I will bridge gap between government and party, according to Stephen Asamoah Boateng, who's the boss at SIGA. That's what the Chronicle is telling us. The Ghanaian Times this morning says, disaster hits Kumasi, 6 perish in floods after torrential rain. Dr. Wal urges UNWTO to help mobilize COVID-19 vaccines for member countries. Government grants relief packages to rice farmers in KJB. And High Life legend Nana Ampedu dies at 76. May he rest in peace. The new crusading guide, fraud, forgery, haunt Amansia's central DCE nominee, and government sensitized journalists on national security strategy. Man of the moment, Asabi implores diaspora to keep faith with MPP, and Abankwatu new chief executives don't settle personal scores with MMDCE position. Demo rocks embattled Echimango Vieja South MCE nominee, and you know that the confirmations are ongoing. Some rejections here and there. The Daily Graphic, Bank of Ghana sets up fight against electronic fraud. Support COVID-19 vaccination effort. Dr. Wal entreats World Tourism Body. Implementing RTI law. Information access fees out soon. Upon Kroma is Information Minister. That's on the front page of the Daily Graphic. The Finder reports that CD set to end 2021 with the lowest depreciation since 1992. Also, pass fees regime for RTI coalition, they're telling the government. Asabi court support of MPP chapter in Germany and mobilize COVID-19 vaccines for member countries. Dr. Wal lobbies UNWTO. High Life legend Nana Ampedu passes on, and may he rest in peace. May his family be comforted at this time. The Informer report reveals family feud caused KAAKA's death. Had nothing to do with fix the country activism. His family, they disagree because his wife insists that he was threatened because of his activism. Legalizing IPAC, Afarijan disagrees. And danger, air pollution kills 16,000 Ghanaians annually. World Bank discloses. Kwabena Kofu is the EPA boss. Towards addressing climate change phenomenon, ministry encourages use of electric vehicles. That's what we're being told here at this point on the front page of the Informer. The Daily Guide, government getting presidential jet. How Baba Idi killed KAAKA. EJURA committee has been speaking. Well, there have been reactions. We'll share that with you. Otumfor Oke's free zones board move. And as a pregnant woman fails to meet bill terms, so she's still in the cooler. And legendary Nana Ampedu is dead. That's what the Daily Guide is reporting. May his family be comforted at this time and in their very, very difficult time. A few birthdays today, along with that of Mr. Charles Kojo Fosu, a.k.a. Daddy Lumba. We celebrate him today. And also we celebrate Reverend Jonathan Bete of the Ghana Education Service, tucked away somewhere in the central region. Happy birthday to you, Rev. And also a happy birthday to Mrs. Diana Nyamiche of the Ministry of Transport. This is from your husband, Mr. Fred Morrison Nyamiche, CEO of Rev 1 Sounds. My good brother, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Diana. And also happy birthday to Louisa Fafa Anto, special one from your husband, Gershon. He says he loves you to the moon and back. Happy birthday, long life and prosperity to you. And also a happy birthday to Mrs. Asamoah Sewa and the Asamoah family, Yawa, Efua, all of you in Hawaii and across the country too. Eleke Kojo Asamoah. Today is your birthday today. You're deputy PRO at NADMO in Hohoi and NHI, I beg your pardon, in Hohoi. Happy birthday to you, Kojo Asamoah. Also to Dorothy Mausi Bankers, a teacher at Koforidua, and to Bridget Esinu Bankers, a nurse at the United Kingdom. It's your birthday. Happy birthday today. Belated happy birthday to you, Mr. Kofi Addo, CEO of Ricardo Ventures on the Ogle Road. It was your birthday yesterday, my brother Kofi. Live long and stay strong. I know that you are short, but you are not short of ideas. And last but not least, to Mrs. Esinam Nogbe Apau of NADMO, Korle Klote Municipal Assembly. This from Gloria Iroko here at TV3. happy birthday to you. If it's yours as well, happy birthday. Dr. Bernard Okoboy is a former Deputy Minister for Health. He is also a former MP for Lejokuku, former board chair at Kolebu, and is a man who's done so many things. He won the Brilliant Science and Maths quiz for Presec as well when he was very, very young and innocent. He joins me here on the ticket of the NPP. And also, Comrade Murtala Mohammed, as he likes to be called, he doesn't want to be referred to as honorable. I don't know why, but in Parliament, he accepts the title. He is the Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, former Deputy Minister for Trade. Gentlemen, welcome. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Looking sharp as always.
Well, alhamdulillah, we are managing.
You are managing. You are managing like this.
They are directing.
Oh, they are directing, you are managing.
So, when you see, you go into a country, you see an opposition member who's looking so handsome, elegant.
Well dressed and all of that.
It gives you an idea of the state of the economy.
Oh, okay.
And it tells you also that there's a lot of hope for all. So I'm actually encouraged when I see him like this.
I see.
And let me also add that, yes, I was part of the Brilliant Science and Maths team for Presec. But that year, unfortunately, we didn't win.
You didn't win? Ah, okay. I wanted to bruise your soul. I'm happy I succeeded.
Johnny, I don't know whether he expects a response.
Do you have a response?
Do you rebut such a thing?
No, the only thing I have to say is that when you begin to assess people's condition at a distance, you would have the kinds of problems.
But I'm so close.
No, you'd have the problems. You have the problems we have in this country because within the four corners of Flagstaff House and within the circles of the MPP, they are eating uncontrollably. The presumption is that everybody in Ghana must be doing well. I didn't know that he expected me to be wretched. That is the mentality of my friends. Anyway, it's good to be here with him.
On the face
value. So I'm saying that I didn't know. You see, don't assess the other Ghanaian like myself at a distance.
Oh, but we are close.
You see, even if we don't have anything, we need to appear good. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Now he's telling us that all of us must be wretched. The people on the street will be very angry at me.
Look, it's Wednesday and my agenda for COVID is still on. I'm happy that we're all wearing our face masks. There's a vaccine rollout that's going on. Let me give you 2 minutes again, maybe make a strong appeal, particularly to the Ghana community. I'll give Murtala the same to encourage people to observe the protocols and to go and take the vaccines in a language that they can understand.
Oh, thank you very much. Wanda mafia moshi, oba pafaini mafia mo, especially mafia money above 50 years or more. Ke ogbuko COVID chufan oba bomode no benke hospital ni yo hini o yo district no yo. Bi ane wana chufan san ewokote abahaboiko. Wana ke many COVID nyo igbame na keji obuko chofa enyo ehio owalayo ode o ba pa fa ni mo fiam especially ke oye 50 years and more bomodeni oyagbu chofa ko ye any medical condition to my blood pressure diabetes no it's good ake owa ni oyagbu chofa on danifenshi.
Honorable
to that's ba mbanama manama nanamana fanamana nachin tabne pasara nta so kammi dorshal dum maltoma lala duroma de nyala dorshale donlu duniya zaha ndinya via pam kanadira to dum mi nya via ma dibma di nan ka anya yili dana ka kon anya valbno ma zo de nyala ben shaadin yan cha pa dia pa ba kam lepa koya ka be ka lep chipsi be shukru badala fi design yala de nyam musugo duruma mi de mal ta'ab ma shel nyame na chan ntichibe sherboma lala sherboma ay chible kazan jelna woni nta de nyala ban shadan ta zan jande duruma sherboma mi de chibma ka sampo abi tafa kan yo so kam pang mo manga nyande bi aya bi afongne bi lol kam ambi nta de nyala ban shadan yan kana ntichib nirba yole nyande nan zan chile pang ma ka chan ngba tichibe sherboma den chat to he onku dor wel sheldan kana antidinya via pam kana diroma den zon pam la so kam jande na te pang te ma ka te chante chible la sheruma a chible yim len nan ka lan chible buyi to hal silmin tan aban to chible butagba den zon a chible yim lan chible buyi den yala ban shaalin yan ta zan jande doroma tan lan pang shem nyam ban yen kura anyen nin kura pa ben nin kura pa yum pe no ne chenji bar nan zan chile ba pang ba mang pam ka chante chibe sheruma den chat to nyang dor ban biamo mpo he ka pa pam.
Okay, so you heard it. The interpretation will be different, but I love the language. The EJURA report, after the long wait is out, some security experts and analysts have been responding to it. First, we'll hear from Professor KWESI ANING, and then we'll listen to Professor Vladimir Nchidanso, who was a member of the committee, and then we'll come back in studio and have a conversation. You do know that the family have rejected large portions of the report, suggesting that it was a family feud that caused the death of KAAKA. Now, they are saying that that cannot be correct, and you also know that they are in court. But first, take a listen to the security experts, and we'll come back in studio to have that conversation.
The biggest surprise for me is the argument, or what I've termed as a very convenient argument, as to why the activist died and who the perpetrators could be. That I found very convenient, and I think a possible diversionary tactic to reduce the specter of even more violence. I don't think it's about body cams. It's about a police service in which first, the personnel are treated with the dignity and the respect that they deserve, consistent retraining to be able to understand the changing dynamics of crime, where we tie in operational resources to where there's concentration of crime, and we see results arising from that positive correlation between resource allocation and crime reduction.
Professor KWESI ANING is worried the committee's findings indicting the actions of the military and police personnel clearly re-echoes concerns about a breakdown in command structure of the security services, abuse of operational procedures, which was recorded in other crisis situations, including the Ayawaso by-election.
I fault the report a little bit that the Ashanti regional minister ought to have been sanctioned, because he is the political boss of the whole region and the head of the Regional Security Council. We see an interlocking and overlapping series of security governance failures, of crass incompetence, irresponsibility, leading not only to the deaths and maiming of individuals, but to the traumatization of a whole town.
So that was Professor KWESI ANING. Let's hear from Professor Vladimir Nchidanso, who was also a member of the three-member committee that the president, per the direction given to the interior minister, set up to probe the disturbances at EJURA.
It's rather unfortunate that ab initio, KAAKA's family, or some members of the KAAKA's family, had been made to believe that we were coming to find out who killed KAAKA. That's not part of our remit. And we told them at the committee that if they have any information, they should give it to the CID. In criminal cases, no committees are set up. There is a criminal case and the CID will deal with it. And I don't think the media also has handled this properly. They're making the KAAKA family believe that we have some magic wand to find out within the period that we have who killed KAAKA. It's not part of our work. So if they are saying they are not accepting it and the media is giving a hype on it, I am surprised. They must be told what our work remit was and whether we work according to the remit given us by by the authority that established us. So we didn't go to find who killed KAAKA, but what KAAKA's death engendered. Now, there were reports, they came to us, and from their own family, people told us how he died and whatnot. So that was our reference point. And we are saying, from all that we've had, it may be plausible, the more plausible about the evidence we have before us. Remember, we say evidence before us shows that it must be a family feud. And we put it there clearly. And we said the rest belongs to the CID. So.
Okay, so that was Professor Vladimir Nchidanso there as well. Okay, let me start this conversation with you. I'm sure you've heard the pushback from the from KAAKA's family, much of KAAKA's family, that the committee may have to come again because the suggestion, or if you like, the subtle announcement that Macho KAAKA did not die as a result of his activism on social media, but died because or due to a family feud, cannot be entirely correct, because the wife insists that the man was threatened for his activism. His daughter as well cried on the lap of Dr. Baumia and mentioned that his uncle couldn't have been responsible for his father's death. Now, Professor ANING, for example, is saying that why has the Ashanti regional minister not been sanctioned to, just like Salisu Bamba, just like the DSP who was in charge of the EJURA police station? Why is Simon Osemesa walking free?
You know, first of all, let me say a very good morning to all your viewers. A special morning also to lawyer Jerry Ahmed, Shaib, the KODA CEO, very hardworking CEO, and also to my brother Mike.
Informing this patronage.
Oh, these are my youthful gun brothers.
I'm just asking what is informing you this morning.
Oh, just love. Pure love, yeah. So affection for Michael Gabo.
Right.
He's also trying to do his best.
Yes,
do his best at free zones. You know, I think I'm happy that we set up a committee. The president directed the interior minister to set up a committee. Johnny, I tell folks all the time that there are processes that developed nations or advanced countries used to come to where they have reached. They usually take every occurrence or event, take the opportunity, scrutinize the event, make recommendations, and once adopted, it makes things better. My two favorite channels, when I have some time, is air crash investigations and that of crime justice, CBS Justice. And when you watch, it gives you an insight as to how disaster is usually turned into an opportunity for learning and to make systems better. So when they set up this committee, I was quite happy that they will not only tell us what happened, but they would also show us how to avoid such things in the future. And I think that's exactly what happened. Look, I watched some of the proceedings. Someone came before the committee, one gentleman, and told them that KAAKA belongs to one political faction and that he had received threats from some people because of the social media and all that. Immediately a crime is committed. When you study crime investigations, they start looking for motive. Who is in the position to have had an issue with such a person? That's if there's murder. Now, sometimes, based on what you are told, your attention can be on one individual. And then something comes up and realize that there's another someone you must look. You can fall in the trap where you are so convinced about a particular individual because of a narration that you might miss the real killer. It happens all the time. And you are sometimes you get amazed how the trend changes. And finally, when the real killer is found, you just realize how maybe distant the fellow looked, but the story is able to bring. So the point I want to make is that we all got this impression that, look, this is a gentleman who goes on social media and shows what is not going well. And so if he's been killed, a probable cause is that people are not happy with him because of that.
Right.
Then you have another narration. This actually came from two people. Of a lady, Sadia Fuseini. This is on camera. Live at the proceedings, hearing that in the night, she heard a very loud noise. And so she came out to see what was happening. Then she saw, I mean, I'm repeating her words. She saw the elder brother of KAAKA dragging the gentleman unconscious to the bathroom. So she actually went to KAAKA's mother and to KAAKA's wife and told her, this is what I've seen happen to your kinsman. Another tenant actually came to also confirm, who appeared, what that lady had recounted. Now, when the wife appeared, the wife said that she believed that the husband told her that some people had threatened him because of what he was doing. So she was convinced that it might be those people that harmed the husband. But she didn't disclose that this tenant, who said he saw the elder brother dragging KAAKA, she didn't disclose to the committee that the elder brother had, the tenant had actually informed her that night of what had happened to the husband. Now, it's curious. Yeah, to me, it's curious that such a significant occurrence where you are woken up in the night by a concerned co-tenant, that look, your husband was seen being dragged by your brother. It's curious that you don't disclose that. And that's not to say that it was deliberate. Now, one other thing I also say is that you mentioned the daughter of KAAKA, who said the uncle could have done. You know, for that, at this our level of maturity, you know, emotions and stuff. Obviously, it's possible she's related close to the uncle. I'm not saying throw it away, but you can't put too much weight on the desire or claim of a daughter who says, I believe my uncle couldn't have done that. You get what I mean? Now, so this is the point I want to make. If two people said they saw a relative of KAAKA, elder brother, dragging him in the night unconscious, I will not sit here and say he is the murderer or the killer, but he's a suspect. Is that not so? Since you were seen with the person. Yeah. Now, so that one is physical evidence with two witnesses. As for the social media ones, there are beliefs and suspicions. Is that not it? It is also possible that could be there.
But then the wife endorses that claim.
Yes.
And then the daughter subsequently will come.
The daughter tells you my uncle cannot, based on how he sees the uncle.
So now the question is, why would the committee believe the co-tenants or the neighbors?
Johnny, so this is what
the daughter and the wife.
So let me quote what the committee said. He said, I'm reading paragraph 10, which is very important. We, after careful examination of the evidence relating to the events preceding the death of KAAKA, are convinced that, now listen, the evidence as testified by Sadia Fuseni, that's the tenant who saw KAAKA being dragged by the brother, Sadia Fuseni, is more reasonably probable. The words chosen are, it speaks to probability. It's not categorical. It's more reasonably probable than the unsubstantiated evidence of Abewakas, the gentleman who said KAAKA is a social, Abewakas and Sahada Hudu, the wife, which are more speculative. And what they've stated here is also, based on what happened at proceedings, is also factual or substantive. That the co-tenant spoke actually to the physical body of KAAKA being dragged by a brother. That is someone in the act, physical. Unlike that of the wife, which says that he does stuff on social media. People don't like him for that. So it's possible.
But Professor Vladimir Chidanso said that their mandate, their terms of reference, did not include finding who killed KAAKA. So why did they venture into that?
So Johnny, so normally what happens is that when a committee or anybody does work on an issue, once they don't have the mandate to speak categorically, if they had a mandate to find the killer, they would have said, based on our work, the killer is this person. But because what they are doing, there might be findings that have some bearing on probability. And you know, I can go to court and say that, oh, based on ABC, the killer probably is Mutala. No judge will say that I've committed some grievous crime by trying to say who the killer is.
It can't be me.
No, I'm coming. Okay, sorry, let me use that. But you see, words are important. When you say, based on what you found, there's reasonable probability that the cause of the murderer can be this guy instead of that guy. You are only speaking to chance based on what you have gathered. And look, this is material evidence, the things that came out from the committee. Even the courts, in their proceedings, if they get the comments that have come for such people, anyone who is the prosecutor can submit the proceedings in this hearing to be the judge.
Say nothing convicts a man faster than his words.
Exactly. So when a judge has before him comments from tenants who were the witnesses to what happened, versus a thought or a belief of how an uncle is like. He looks so nice. You can imagine what the judge will put weight on.
Now answer my first question. Why is Simon Osei-Mensah walking free?
Well,
the MCE is gone.
Yeah.
The DSP in charge of operations at the time has gone. The military lieutenant has also been cited for punishment and redress. Yes. Why not Simon Osei-Mensah, who is the security and political head of the entire region?
You know what?
Who actually called the military in?
You know, there's a tendency for someone watching to think that in my attempt to answer this question, I am saying that whatever he did, to me, it's absolutely in order. That's also not to say that there were issues. But the point I'm making, because you've asked me, I got to share my thoughts. Johnny, if you watch any individual that was mentioned explicitly by the committee to be dealt with, either transferred or sacked or whatever, they cited the actions of the person and how it contributed to what happened.
Right.
So the MC, based on the bad blood between his supporters and the others, he had to go. Continuous stay can be cause for tension. Then the police commander, they felt that, he's not applied tact enough. And they even mentioned his incompetence. Now, you see, sometimes it's the arrangement we have, legal, when I say legal arrangement, what the Constitution or our laws prescribe, that sometimes might appear to be the cause of suspicion or a problem. You see, you have a situation where, over the years, the head of the Regional Security Committee is, in quote, a politician.
Right.
So that whichever government is in place, exactly, whichever government is in place, when, based on the reports he's gotten, he takes a decision that does not inure or that appears to go against a particular either political party or sympathizer party, people might think that or might suspect that it is politically motivated.
But in this case, the security coordinator for the region and the DCOP, who is the deputy commander, have both said that the involvement of the military and the police and the subsequent shooting is what aggravated the problem. And that they didn't think about the situation well.
You know,
now, the man who invited the military in, based on a certain information that he have, which information source he has not told the committee, is still at post. That's the question people are asking.
You know,
if the DSP is asked to go, the lieutenant is asked to be dealt with from the military's perspective, the MC has been asked to go. Why not Simon Osei-Mensah?
I think the answer is it's not that complex. There are, and that's why I'm happy that they set up a committee. There are some challenges we get. They are created by the system or the structure which the law prescribes. You see, one of the recommendations of the committee is that the coordination between, let's say, the RedSec boss, that's the regional minister, and the regional commander of police, and the army commander in the region, it's not well spelled out in terms of SOP, standard operating procedure. So normally, it is important we take advantage, because whether you like it or not, it is true that the police commander there said he made calls to his bosses at the top to indicate that it was not easy for him. It was above him. So it is not surprising that the regional minister also got calls once in Accra. So it means that there was a situation that was overwhelming those who were supposed to handle it.
I appreciate that. I'm saying that.
Now, I am not saying
all the key actors have been punished. The regional minister, Professor KWESI, has not been punished.
Like I'm saying, if you look at those on the ground, like the police commander, as for him, there's a direct relationship with the situation. The regional minister, like he quoted about it, the RedSec allows him to try and coordinate or activate.
Okay, you are not answering my question.
Oh, Johnny.
Yes, you are not answering my question. My question is direct. I know you understand my question. But you are not answering my question.
No, you see,
you are explaining my question to me.
It's not. You see, culpability. In his case, to be honest, culpability is not that explicit or straightforward.
Okay.
You know, because he sits at a place where when he gets let's turn it around. let's assume when he got the course in Accra, he discarded the course.
That is not what we are talking about. Now you're getting to probability. Let's talk about what happened.
No. You see, the best way to appreciate maybe why he's not being sacked or touched, like you're saying, is to turn the situation around.
Then the lieutenant can also say that, look, when the people started firing, I also had to fire.
You see,
me to turn it around.
The ultimate responsibility at the region lied not on the army commander at 4BN,
right,
not on the regional commander.
Right.
By our arrangement, by the laws we have now, the ultimate responsibility for the region was on the head of the regional minister.
Absolutely.
So that I am saying that when he got the calls, if he had decided to shelve the cause, and the police, look, we forget things easily. Major Mahama, may he so rest in peace. It was a similar action where citizens in the country are not, let's say, happy with. You know, they had issues with soldiers protecting mines and all that. At the end of the day, an army officer was murdered in a cruel manner. These guys, all the witnesses said the atmosphere was very charged. And even with the presence of the soldiers, the crowd were not in any mood to leave. So the point I'm making...
The committee report said the presence of the soldiers and the shooting aggravated the situation. That's what they said.
And one thing I also want to say is that...
Let me
Johnny,
go to Murtala.
Let me conclude.
I've been speaking for 20 minutes.
Really?
Yes.
Because Johnny is asking too many questions.
Let me go to Murtala. It's okay.
All right, let me allow
Murtala, let me start with the regional minister angle. And the report is clear. All the key actors have been giving some level of punishment or reprimand. But Professor KWESI ANING says that, why not the regional minister? Because all of them yield to him.
Johnny, let me say good morning to you, my friend, who is chopping even in opposition, in government in opposition. And I'm so surprised that President Nana Addo hasn't seen the need to give this gentleman a very good and befitting appointment. He did a lot for the party, and he ought to have known that that seat he has been an NDC safe seat. So if his crime is that he lost that seat, I think that President Nana Addo is being unfair to you. You are not happy I'm saying it, but that's a fact. But that's the fact.
But others who also lost their seats, if that caveat were, had been given appointments.
The MPP is a conservative party. They hardly see young people grow. You must join a queue. NDC, join it today. The next day you can even vie for presidency of the party. That is why progressive people must join the NDC, because that's the only party.
That's not what we are talking about.
That is the only party that gives you space. It doesn't matter where you are coming from.
That's not what we are discussing.
It doesn't matter your social strata. It doesn't matter your background. You can still have the same opportunity to operate. And that is why the NDC. That is why the NDC has produced presidents of all groups in this country. They haven't. They are yet to do that. So if the president has been unfair to my good friend, he's my friend. That's why I'm concerned. Johnny,
it says very soon.
Johnny, I pray and I hope so. I am particularly concerned about any discussion we're going to have here. As a Muslim, I need to be very conscious of making false claims and accusations. And Abu Dawood reported that if a person makes a false claim against somebody, that in the hell you will put in a place they call Rahatul Khabal, reported by Abu Dawood. That is where the poo or the blood of the hell dwellers are going to be. So I am particularly concerned, and I guess all faiths, particularly, you see, it's MPP for you. It's okay. But particularly under this circumstance, you would find some of these things happening. But let's begin to look at. Let me answer your question first before I look at the issue. The regional minister ought to have been sanctioned.
Why do you say that?
He detailed the military to go there and engage in that shooting. And he defended that reckless action. And in fact, they initially lied to the people of this country that when the military went there, they went there to restore law and order, and that the people started throwing stones. This committee has established that that account was not true, that nobody threw stones. When they went there, they started shooting. That is one thing. And I think that he participated in lying to the people of this country as what happened. And in any case, as the regional security, chairman of the REPSET, does he take decisions alone, or he consults those who have the expertise in terms of security before decisions of such nature
That's
are taken.
supposed to be the case.
Yes. So I get the sense. He said he got a call, his own account, and he asked that they should go. What intelligence did he have? Who gave him the intelligence? And I think that I am not surprised that this man is walking free.
Why?
Why? The Minister for Health himself, who came out and mess up and lied to the people of this country, is still at post. Tell me one single person who has done this and the president would have the balls to sack or sanction such a person. He won't. And I said it here that such people will never be sanctioned. Let me also state that there have been that deliberate attempt now to describe the family of KAAKA as criminals, to describe them as those who have occasioned the death. Look at the headlines in one of the pro-government newspaper, Daily Guide, how Baba Idi killed KAAKA. Very reckless, very irresponsible.
But the killed is in parentheses.
It doesn't matter. How many people would appreciate what they put there? How many people?
Use my media.
How many people will appreciate it? How many people will appreciate that the purpose of it? It's an intention. Look, there is like a prepared script. And listening to my friend and listening to another MPP communicator with whom I shared a platform yesterday, it's the same narrative. And you have Daily Guide on their pro-media houses going on that same narrative. Let's see how we push the blame on the family of the victims themselves. And that is precisely what this government is doing. Where has empathy gone to? Where has sympathy gone to? I think that if sympathy and empathy have all traveled, I plead with the president that they should allow it to come home. People are grieving. They have lost their brother. And now you tend to blame them. But let me come to the issue of the committee. Professor Vladimir Chudansu has been my mentor. I mean, he has been someone with whom I have a long, standing relationship with. When I was an undergraduate student, he was the dean of students. Okay. Very lovely, very accommodative. We were always with him. When I went to do my second degree at Lyceum, he was my lecturer. He taught me international economics and a very outstanding lecturer. But I'm sorry to say that they did a shambolic work as a committee.
Why would you say that?
And I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
He himself has indicated that KAAKA's family thought they were coming to investigate to establish who killed KAAKA. That was not what they were coming to. It was
not
do.
part of their
Yet they concluded, yet in their conclusion, they found the need to talk about the murder of KAAKA.
Cause.
Please, Johnny, they found the need to talk about the murder of KAAKA, all in a desperate attempt to absolve government of this murder.
They called it a probable cause.
I'm saying, let me finish.
Consider in context how they couched it so that...
However they couch it, it's just the same way Daily Guide have captured this. They are please. I'm not interested.
Allow him to go ahead. What page?
You read it. You read that already.
That's page 49.
Okay.
You read that.
Let me go through it first. Mutala, make progress.
In any case, I could have read a lot. I allowed you to go on and go on for 20 minutes. I don't need your assistance. I am saying that it's the same thing. If he himself is saying that the family thought they were coming to investigate to establish the killers of KAAKA, that was not the business with which they did the work they did. Yet they found it necessary to talk about the fact that contrary to the views of people, that KAAKA murder was occasioned by his social, media activism, that it might be a family feud. They haven't told us whether there was an existing family feud. They haven't told us. They haven't told us whether there was any problem between the brothers, the extent to which one of them would want to end the life of another. They haven't told us that. Nobody is aware of any feud. If there is a family feud, the extent to which someone would want to kill the other as a result of the family feud, there would have been cases at the police station. Tell me, how many siblings do you have in your home in growing up? When we all have siblings, don't we quarrel? We have petty quarrels. Every single home. Even in our homes, we quarrel with our kids. We quarrel with our wives and husbands. It does happen. But are there quarrels the extent to which you would want to murder someone? Now you realize that they are also desperately taking the accounts of a tenant who gave 2 accounts anyway. When the woman got to the wife of KAAKA, her first report was that she saw 2 people running away from KAAKA's body, and there was a big stick there. This same information she gave to the police. 2 days later, she changed the narrative. What could have informed that change? of a narrative. What could have informed that? Now they want to absolve the credibility of a witness who has given two inconsistent, accounts. Two different accounts.
Why do you say they want to absolve? It looks like then there was a grand scheme.
The committee is telling us that they probably.
The justice of the appeal court.
The committee is telling us. I'm not challenging their honorability.
Right.
I am only questioning the work they have done. I have the right to question the work they have done. I am saying that they are telling us that they believe the accounts given by a tenant, isn't it? Yet they don't believe the accounts given by the wife. They don't believe the accounts given by the daughter. And listen to him. He said that they think that the accounts given by social media others are unsubstantiated and
okay, so let me read it. Paragraph 10 of the finding says, we after careful examination of the evidence relating to the events preceding the death of KAAKA, are convinced that the evidence as testified by Sadia Husseini is more reasonably probable than the unsubstantiated evidence of Abewakas and Sahada Hudu, which are more speculative. We accordingly find that the death of KAAKA was not directly linked to a social media activism. It is more probably a family feud. This is also supported by the testimony of Aminu Mohammed, a resident of EJURA and a friend of the late KAAKA. So on both ends, they are saying the probability that the pendulum
each of the members of the committee can they look straight into our faces and tell us that they don't have problems within their families? Can any of them? Did they tell us what that feud was? What has been the evidence of the so-called feud? And in any case, that witness whose accounts they think is sacred and ought to be valued than the accounts of the very people who lived with the murdered gentleman. That witness went to the wife, because that's the information I got from the MP. That witness went to the wife of KAAKA and told KAAKA that when she had the wife and told the wife, when she heard the noise, she saw two people run away and a big log lying by KAAKA. And then the next, and gave him, I'm also told, she gave the same account to the police. 2 days later, she gave the second account for which they came to the conclusion.
How do we ensure that tension doesn't brood in that part?
I will come to that.
Because see, we had occasion to take the chief imam there. And the people wanted to, shall I say, take things into their hands. We took the chief imam there, the vice president was there, matters were calm. But now the family are saying that, well, we have seen the report now, which was released in July, and now we're getting it. They are saying that it doesn't represent what happened on the ground. We will go to court, but we are also asking that justice must be done for our deceased. No, but how do we ensure that we manage the tension so that it doesn't blow up in our faces?
Johnny, it is the responsibility of all of us to ask the people the patience with which they handle this issue. I think that they should continue with that patience. I have had the opportunity to have spoken with the MP of the area.
Okay.
In fact, myself and he, we all serve in the Public Accounts Committee. Okay. And we've been away for almost a month. And he has actually given me a detailed information. And he is doing everything possible. I remember when we moved from Sinyani to Takoradi, he had to move back to EJURA just to ensure that he continuously engaged the youth, pleading with them and letting them understand the need for them to maintain the peace that they experience in that area. But come to think of the inconsistencies and the lies, the police had indicated that the family invited them to provide security on the day of the burial of KAAKA. It is established by the committee that that was a lie. They couldn't mention a single member of the family who asked them to do so. 2, they also lied that the people started throwing stones and that occasioned the shooting of the guns. It has been established by the committee that that was another lie. Now, how could you believe this thing? In any case, the DCE or the MCE of the area, people call for his dismissal, or at least stepping aside for investigation in the matter such as this to be conducted. The president never responded to the plea and the call of the people of this country. The man stayed at post. What sanctions have they given to the man? The man didn't even put himself up for renomination. Then you come out and tell us that he should not be nominated or appointed as DCE. The Gombes have a proverb. Saya mimbaka yorkuru. You open you left the doors of your room ajar. Then it rained heavily. The entire room is taken over by rain, and after that you then come and then you closing the door of the room. That is precisely what they are doing. So it is not only the regional minister who is not sanctioned. The MCE is also not sanctioned. In any case, what kind of sanction? We are talking about lives lost. That is what we are talking about. We are talking about women who have become widows. We are talking about kids who have become orphans.
Okay.
And you see, Johnny, we are talking about possibly the education and the livelihood of kids that are going to be truncated because you had a happy trigger, police officers. I have said repeatedly that I will respect decent-minded security forces any day. John, in the night, you and I sleep in our homes with our wives and kids. You find police officers who left their families, their wives and children at home, just to ensure that myself and you were protected. You find policewomen who leave their husbands at home, just to ensure that myself and you are protected. So we need to commend their action at any time. But when we have recalcitrant, the minutest part of the police service, who engage in some of these things, we need to talk about it. We need to ensure that they are dealt with, so that they cannot send the entire, distinguished and enviable profession of the security agencies to disrepute. So this attempt by this government to now blame the victims of KAAKA and the other people is unfair.
Let's bring Cookie in. Cookie has some messages.
Did the government do the work?
Well,
he said this attempt by the current government.
But who did that?
It's a committee.
Who is responsible?
Your professor, your mentor was the one who...
Why? Did I am saying this, but he didn't publish this. What we just sat here trying and intelligently to blame the family for the murder of KAAKA. It is no probability.
Okay.
When there is evidence, there is evidence that the guy reported.
There's a pretty lady behind you.
Watch the lady, you
There's a pretty lady behind you.
Well, Anwina Kutia says the committee's finding is meaningful and may not be far from the fact findings from the witnesses who happen to be tenants, but they should have let us know about the family feud that led to the death of KAAKA for the public to judge. I'm really disappointed in the late KAAKA's wife that she hid the truth before the committee to betray her husband about what she had heard about who killed her husband. Regards to Chairman KWESI of Eastern Region MPP. Johnny, my biggest surprise of this month is the EJURA report. I thought the committee members were going to learn something from the past committee's reports. Johnny, this report is empty in fact. It's a poor job done by Professor Danso and his team. Triddles sent in that one. Now, if they do not go to find out who killed KAAKA, then why does the report say it was a family feud that killed him? PNKB sent in that one. Please, kindly let Dr. Okoboy know that nurses on rotation are suffering. Their allowances are still not paid. He works with nurses and he knows their plight. Johnny, so KAAKA's family will be compensated? If yes, then why? Because the so-called report said he was killed by a family feud. And again, why would the committee believe in someone else's report than his wife's report? I can't think far. Ismaila Huraya sent in that one. Now, this one says, I can bet my last peswa that the concluding paragraph of the EJURA committee report may not have come from the committee. How can Professor Danso be telling us that they didn't go to investigate the death of KAAKA and at the same time concluded that the death of KAAKA may have been as a result of a family feud? If the committee was able to attribute the death to a family feud, then why can't they explain the death to the family, but are rather directing the family to the CID? Jojo from Doma is asking, buy a new jet for what again? Since we have a functional one already, we do not need a new one. That money should be used to create more employment or even pay the NAPCO beneficiaries their arrears. Emmanuel B. Isaka from Garu District in the Upper East Region sent in that one. Johnny, morning to you and your panelists. Please, next time you would have to talk, next time you speak to Professor Vladimir Inchidan, so kindly ask him if their mandate was to find out who killed KAAKA. Now, if that is it, then what's the statement the family feud doing in the report? The analytic life is the life of a man, and it came from Basel. Last one says, why is the government's communication of defense defending the report? They are all over. They are all over defending the reports without any intelligent circle analysis. Have they been sent out there to try to kill the report seen by many as bogus and doesn't add up? If you were not asked to do findings on KAAKA's death, then why conclude his death was as a result of a family feud? It does not make sense to me. Okuboy, protect your career and the goodwill you have. Be objective on this one, please. And it's coming from Amos in Teshi Ajemi.
What point?
It's very important.
When he gets to the wrapping up, okay, you.
I'll yield to him. That I'll come to you. Or you want to start first? So
well, if you want him to start, that's fine.
No, but that's the order now.
Okay,
so.
Then start.
Johnny, you know, I think the details are important. Sometimes emotions can make you get things wrong. There are people in this country who want to pour libation to curse a regional minister because he had said that a particular pregnant woman, alleged pregnant woman who was kidnapped, actually faked it. Now, the reports we are getting is that the woman is saying that to get some nice treatment from the husband, she actually, listen carefully what I'm saying.
He's using that as an analogy.
Almost, what I say, 80%. A lot of people went with the story that this is a poor woman who had been abducted, a pregnant woman lost the baby and all that. Only for details to tell us that this was a family issue where a woman wanted attention from the husband. We should be careful how we conclude on things. I have never sat here to say that it is KAAKA's brother that killed him. I am saying that based on the people who appeared before the committee, 2 people actually said they saw his brother dragging the fiscal body. Is that not so?
Right.
And I said the wife said she believed some people wanted to kill the husband. The husband had told her. And I said one had to do with what the husband had told her. Another account had to do with physical handling of the husband's body. You understand? And I said when you judge you weigh the two on a scale of evidence, physical account of someone dragging the husband carried weight. You understand what I'm saying? But all this will be in the bosom of a court. You see, people are writing that, oh, why did the committee conclude? Please, it's English that was written. When someone says that there's a reasonable probability, the person has not in any way said that that's what happened.
Then the question comes, like somebody asked now, and I wanted to ask that question. If you have not concluded, what's the compensation for?
Yes. No, I mean,
what are you compensating them for? So let me go back to the analogy you used. That this lady faked her pregnancy. The people went with her. Now it's been found out she faked the pregnancy. She's in court. Nobody is compensating her.
No, I stand to be corrected.
Why are you compensating?
I stand to be corrected. I think the compensation has to do with those who lost their lives.
That includes the family of KAAKA.
Includes the family of KAAKA.
But
the feuding family. The so-called
allow me,
family.
please. That involves the family of KAAKA.
Oh, with all due respect, when I read, I got the impression it's those who had been killed.
Yes, but money will go to KAAKA's family. His wife, his daughter, they will be the recipients of the compensation in respect of KAAKA. For
I'm talking about those who were shot and died as a result of...
families will also get compensation.
All right, okay. I mean,
it's there.
But
maybe I could read that for you.
Yes. The impression I got was that those who suffer, because if the matter...
Will you change your narrative?
You see, if the matter has not been determined by the courts, right? I mean, if they ask that compensation be given, maybe it's based on... it might be based on either sympathy or empathy, and not necessarily to say that they believe that... how do you call it?
You see,
no. I mean, not... KAAKA's death was not... please.
Allow him, let him wrap up.
They've not concluded that KAAKA was killed by, let's say, the inactions or actions of an MC or something for which you...
So the recommendations, paragraph 1 says, the committee recommends adequate compensation for the families of 2 deceased persons, namely Abdul Nasir Yusuf and Murtala Suraj Mohammed. Adequate compensation must also be paid to other injured persons, namely Louis Ayikba, 20 years, Awal Misbah, 16 years, and Nasif Nuhu, 30 years. These are names known to the committee. So the compensation is going to... KAAKA relax. The committee recommends adequate compensation to the families of the 2 deceased persons, namely Abdul Nasir Yusuf and Murtala Suraj Mohammed.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So KAAKA is not part of this.
So KAAKA died.
No, you don't get me. Please, let's get it. These facts are secret. Precision. The 2 who died during the protest with the issues with the army. These are the two that have been mentioned.
They are the ones that have been compensated.
Please, for accuracy and precision.
Okay.
KAAKA has not been captured here. His family has not been captured for compensation.
Okay.
It's those who died through the routes.
Okay. So you are not compensating KAAKA's
No,
family?
it's those who died through the routes.
Because you think he died
No,
through family,
because
or probably.
because it has not been conclusively established who killed KAAKA. That the courts will determine.
I hear you.
Johnny.
Yes.
You can liken the committee's work with what Martin Amidu did.
Oh.
Hold on.
The man is watching this morning.
But do I care?
Allow him to.
So what? If he's watching, so what? Is it not his statement?
He's not here to defend
Why?
himself. Go ahead.
Right.
But who cannot write? We should debate. The man said he was investigating, what's the name?
EJURA.
In his concluding statement, he brought in Airbus. Hold on. It had nothing to do with EJURA.
Okay.
They were all.
I'm saying that it had nothing to do with
They
EJURA.
were all arrangements. That
Now you have been given references, mandate to do a particular work. You went in there, and for whatever reason, you are bringing in the circumstances leading to the death of someone. What I want, my friend, and all the MPP communicators who are reading from a common script, just like Daily Guide, that the woman, the so-called witness, had informed KAAKA's wife and the police initially that when she heard the noise and came out, she saw 2 people running away, and there was a log by KAAKA. Yet 2 days later, she gave a different account. So I'm saying that even on the issue or basis of credibility, that is enough to doubt the credibility of the account. But let me come to the regional minister.
Finally.
The same regional minister, when they killed the boys from Kumasi, he publicly said they were armed robbers. How credible is he? That same regional minister. He said those boys.
Said, or the deputy speaker in parliament?
Why? If the
outside the committee.
Yes, he said the guys were armed robbers. But when the committee was set up, it was established that they were not.
Which guys?
The Kumasi, you know, when they killed
we compensated them, right?
Exactly. But that was his position. The same regional minister, hold on. The same regional minister, when he said that the people went there and they started...
You are now using the previous statements on...
if Agama Lizard, more paper is accepted this morning by you.
Let's go.
What is good for the groups?
Kwame Agboja says this one. He says, Mr. Hughes, first of all, I protest any reference to the balls of the first gentleman by Honorable Mutala. United States Congress has started grilling the military chiefs and politicians who supervise the disastrous withdrawals of U.S. forces from Afghanistan. They want to find out the truth about catastrophic events. If we want the truth that can lead to effective actions to prevent future situations, Parliament must be the best place to probe things like this. He puts that in block letters. Ahmed Swale, Major Mahama, assault of St. George, KAAKA, etc., just to mention a few. How can a government constitute a committee to investigate itself and find itself guilty when it's obvious state actors complicit in some of these things? The government is only protecting themselves using all these committees. That's what Kwame Agboja thinks. John says, who killed these 2? Who were detailed to go and control the crowd? Who went on his knee and shot into the crowd? Well, good morning, my brother.